Record doc. Phone. Page 1 of 3. Page 2 of... What? My NDIS. Z touch light. Alert. Don't allow paste. Allow paste. Button. Don't allow paste. Button. Allow paste. Button. Z touch light. Visit friends and support. Options. Friends and scores. Visit convec. Option. Support. Option. Friend. New game. New game. Friends. New game. Button. New game. Medium. Button. Easy. Button.
Let's see how long I can play this game for before it runs out. I want to see if I can get above 694 points. It is possible because when I read the scoring table in the new lives thing, where you get extra lives, sorry, not new lives, extra lives, scores can go very, very high. So we're going to see how good I can play this game today.
Practice.
And then I'm going to cook some chippies because, yeah, today I've managed to not take reflux medication without getting sick. So I'm just going to skip it for as long as I can, and if anything comes back at me, I can review it at the doctor's then. But until then, I am okay. So currently not taking medication.
Easy. Button. Practice.
So,
easy. Button.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. Happy about that. Okay, I'm going to play this game now and we're going to see how long I can go. So, if anybody doesn't like games, please skip this section of the video. And when I'm done with this game, I'll be doing other stuff on recording. But just to warn anybody who's not interested in games, I'll be doing another recording later just dedicated to gaming. So if you don't like games, you might not want to listen to the next recording. But this one is starting out with a game and going on with normal living arrangements. Well, not too personal, obviously. I'm not going to put anything very personal up here, so please don't turn off the video over that, please. It is not very personal. My daily living arrangements are not all personal. Some things are like my cooking routine and sitting outside to listen to the birds and get some fresh air and all that stuff. So, yeah, do not turn off the video because you think you'll hear something personal, because there is nothing like that happening in my videos. No major personal stuff like dressing up and all that sort of crap. I mean, yeah, I'll be doing house chores, putting clothing away and all that, but nothing too frightening in recording, so please don't turn off the video unless you're just skipping through boring parts or stuff that you don't like. Just don't take interest in. Maybe you don't like books, maybe you don't like games, maybe you don't want to hear about controversial stuff or religion or politics or, I don't know, the latest news on the weather, or I don't know. If you don't take an interest, please skip, or you can turn off the video. But I don't have anything well, if it's scary, meaning hospital updates or anything personal, that's like I'm dying or something like that. No, I'm not dying, but anything like that, I'll be like, if you can't listen, please skip. But so far, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. So I'm going to play this game, and then after that, I'll be going back to normal living during my recordings, and there will be another gaming recording later. So this video you'll have to skip through if you don't like some of it, and the next recording, if you're not happy, just turn off the video or something, or listen to it if you want. But yeah, let's continue.
Practice. Easy. Button. Easy. Voiceover
Get
on.
ready.
How far can I
Shake.
take this?
Swipe. Touch. Shake. Swipe. Swipe. Shake. Touch. Let's go faster. Shake. Shake. Touch. Swipe. Shake. 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 A little faster.
Yep.
Shake. Touch. Touch. Shake. Swipe. Touch. Touch. Shake.
It goes up in stages 3 more times,
Swipe.
and then
Swipe.
you just keep going.
Touch. Touch. Swipe. Shake. Swipe. Touch. Faster still.
Yep.
Swipe. Shake. Swipe. Touch. Swipe. 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 Faster, faster. Shake. Touch. 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 Shake. Shake. Swipe. Touch. More speed. Shake. Shake. Swipe. Touch. Touch. Touch.
The trick is
Shake.
not to accidentally
This is getting
anticipate your commands
Swipe.
too soon.
crazy. Shake. Touch.
Don't anticipate commands,
Touch.
because if you get it wrong,
Touch.
it strikes you.
Shake.
3 strikes
Touch.
and you're out.
Touch.
So
Super
Get-
crazy.
no strikes.
Shake. Touch. Shake. Touch. 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 Swipe. Swipe. This is even more crazy. Swipe. Swipe. Shake. 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 Swipe. Touch. Swipe. Insane
No breaks
fast.
from now on,
Swipe. Swipe. Touch.
and no strikes,
Swipe.
or I won't get a high score.
Shake. 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 Touch. Touch. Shake. Shake. Shake.
I hate that
Swipe.
command because it's
Shake.
hard to
Touch.
keep up with.
Swipe. Shake. Touch. Shake. Touch. Swipe. Touch. Swipe. Swipe. Touch. Swipe. Shake. Shake. Touch. 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 Swipe. 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 Touch. Shake. Swipe. Shake. Swipe. Shake. Touch. 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 Shake. Shake. Swipe. Swipe. Touch. Touch. Shake. Shake. Swipe. Touch. Shake. Swipe. Swipe. Shake. Touch. Touch. Shake. Swipe.
Oh,
Touch.
shit, I made a mistake.
Touch.
Jesus.
Shake. 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 Touch. Shake. Swipe. Shake. Shake. Swipe. Touch. Shake. Shake. Touch. Touch. Swipe. Shake. Touch. swipe, swipe, touch, shake, shake, touch, touch, swipe, swipe, shake, swipe, touch, swipe, touch, shake, touch, swipe, touch, touch, swipe, touch, swipe, shake, swipe, 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 shake, touch,
Oh,
swipe, swipe,
I hate stuffing up
Swipe.
like that. I nearly got
Shake.
another strike.
swipe,
Damn it!
swipe, swipe,
I want to beat
touch,
694
Touch.
points today.
shake,
Oh,
Touch.
come on! I want to beat 694 points.
shake, shake, touch, touch, swipe, touch, touch, swipe,
Oh god, this is
Shake.
hard, and it's the easy
Swipe.
mode, and it's hard.
swipe, touch, swipe, swipe,
You
swipe,
sort of got to hear it
swipe,
and then
Touch.
do it. Otherwise,
Swipe.
you can
Swipe.
hit the wrong command, like I did
Touch.
once,
Shake.
and strike yourself.
swipe,
Oh,
touch,
fucking did that again.
touch, touch,
I did that again.
swipe, swipe,
Can't
touch,
do it.
touch,
But I'll try.
touch, 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 swipe, swipe, shake, touch, shake, swipe, shake, swipe,
The shake command
Swipe.
is terrible.
swipe, shake, swipe, touch,
Oh,
shake,
I nearly shook instead of touched it.
touch, swipe,
Jesus, I nearly
shake,
did that wrong
Shake.
again.
shake, swipe, shake, touch, swipe, shake, shake, swipe, shake, 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 swipe, shake, touch, shake, touch, shake, 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 touch, shake, swipe, touch, swipe, shake, touch, touch, shake, shake, swipe, touch, swipe, swipe, touch, swipe, touch, swipe, shake, swipe, shake, swipe, swipe, touch, swipe, touch.
Oh, I messed that up.
Ah, you didn't make it.
Oh, you didn't make it. Well, that was a failed test. That was a very failed test. What score did I actually get?
Zip convec. Orientation changes off. Change net. Submit to change net. 12. Michelle. 7. 87.
What
5.
did I
Michelle.
get?
5. 4. 4. Easy. Rank. Name. Score. 1. Michelle. 610.
Oh, I got
2.
610.
Michelle. 560. Continue. Continue.
Oh,
Ignore this.
no.
Share with friends. Submit to game center. Change name. But 12. Michelle. 12. Change. Submit to game center. Button.
Oh, I'll submit
Submit
that.
alert. Success. Your score was posted to game center. Okay. Button. Change name. Button. Submit to games. Share with friends. Ignore this. Continue. Button. Continue. New game. Button.
Well, that didn't work because I didn't. I'll play it one more time, but it really did not fucking work properly because if you want to go over 600 points, you've got to get an accidental strike every maybe 200 between around every 200 points you have, like, if you're going to make a mistake but you want to get over 600 points, don't get a strike for every, or only get one strike for every 200 points, because you get 3 strikes and the game ends, you know. So I'm kind of stuffing up. I don't know if I'm not concentrating properly or it's just a hard game. I'll try
New
again.
game. Button. New game. Medium. Easy. Button. Easy. Voice
Get
control.
ready. Shake,
Just one more go at this
touch,
and I'll be on to other
swipe,
things that are not games.
shake, 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 touch, touch. Let's go faster. Shake, touch, touch. Shake, touch, shake. Swipe, shake. A little faster. Shake, touch, shake, touch, touch. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Even faster. Swipe, swipe, shake, swipe, swipe, touch, touch, shake. Faster still. Swipe, swipe, shake, swipe, shake, swipe, shake, swipe. Faster,
So far,
faster.
no strikes. We'll see
Shake,
how I go.
swipe, shake, shake, swipe, touch, shake, touch. More speed. Swipe, swipe, touch, shake, touch, shake,
Shaking's the worst to
touch,
keep up with.
shake. This is getting crazy.
Shaking is like
Shake,
the worst command.
shake, shake, swipe, shake, 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 swipe. Super crazy.
Yep.
Swipe, swipe, touch, touch, swipe.
I'm just fucking that up
Oops, you
deliberately
goofed.
because I know that I shook it.
Voiceover on.
It's like if you don't get an accidental strike when you're under 200 points scoring, you're not going to get a high enough score. My highest score is like 694 points. So if you get a mistake when you're only at like 160 or 100 and under 200 points scoring, you're going to stuff up sooner than later and get 3 strikes before the, 690 points mark. So
Great. Scroll down to
I'm going
continue,
to
button,
ignore that
button, continue,
score.
Ignore this score. Ignore this score.
Ignore it.
New friends and option. Friend. New game.
New
button,
game.
New game. Practice. Easy. Button.
Maybe I need to just do practice mode for ages and bloody ages.
Medium. Hard. Hard. Button.
I'll have to come back to this again later because, yeah, I need a lot of practice with this game. And I've got to cook some chips, so I'm going to get back to this game in a minute,
App switcher.
later.
Recorder. Zip touch light.
I'm
Active.
going
Zip touch
to
light. Closing
dedicate
home.
my next recording just to
Google. App
games.
switcher.
I'll be chatting while I play games, but I'll be dedicated just to playing games on the next recording. So, for you gaming fans, get ready for the next recording. For you non-gaming fans, now you don't have to continue skipping the video unless you just don't like skipping through the video, unless you just do not like hearing what you don't want to listen to. Then you can either turn the video off at this point, or you can skip the video. It is up to you. I am not concerned either way so long as you're happy hearing the video.
200 degrees
I don't
C
like
convection.
autocook because autocook doesn't do chips properly.
200 degrees C convection.
Autocook really doesn't work. So, oh, stop, I need to fix up the, stop, I need to fix the water because I need a cup of coffee and I haven't got the water boiled enough. Hang
Door
on.
closed. 1, 2, 3 minutes start. High power
I need to
microwave.
boil the water
3 minutes.
and I need to make a cuppa and I need to get my chips ready. So today I'm not using cooking spray. I don't need cooking spray today. So I'm just going to use a little bit, just a little bit. For you people who don't like oil, hey, You don't need to eat oil every day of your life, but if you're cooking chips, chicken, something else that's going to get very sticky during cooking, you do, sadly, you don't have to agree to it, but for best results you really need to grease up your cooking tray. It's not something you like doing, but if you don't do that, you're not going to have good cooking results. But it's totally up to you, but you've got to try to grease your cooking tray. You can obviously have personal opinions and beliefs. I get it. There's nothing wrong with beliefs, and yes, oil is bad for you. So is everything else bad for you. There is nothing that can be all that good for you. Oil is definitely, especially really bad. But when you're cooking, the idea is not to use a lot of oil, just enough that your tray is greasy enough to withstand sticky cooking processes, like stuff that's going to stick onto the tray and be hard to get off later. You need to have a greased tray, a well-greased tray. You know, you don't have to flood the tray with oil so that your food is swimming in oil. You don't have to do that. That's not the idea. Like, nobody is saying to flood your food with oil, ever. Like, if anyone does that, they don't know how to cook.
Row 5, column 3, meat.
Wait a minute, where's Recorder HQ?
Amazon Alexa, Amazon, CMAI. Voice net, Recorder HQ. Pause, stop, pause, minus 23 points, speed.
I will do another game later. My next gaming recording is going to be massive, so be ready for it. For you non-gaming fans, maybe it's a good idea not to play my next recording, but you can if you want. You can just see how it goes. I'm going to have a coffee and chips. So, the auto cook function is scungy. It doesn't work properly.
Complete.
It just doesn't work because 100 grams of chips needs 19 minutes of cooking time, and even that doesn't work. Even that doesn't cook your chips properly. It is scungy. It's not good. So I use the oven baking function and it just works better. It just works better. I'm going to have a lot of chips today because I love those white sauces that you put a cup of milk or a cup of water. It doesn't matter if you use water or milk, just use something nice. And then you pour that over your chips. Oh, it is very nice. It is very nice. Fall off, I think. Damn, that's not good. Let's see how that goes. No, that worked good. Okay, so I'm getting my water out because it's boiled now. I'm going to make a new coffee. And I'm going to put the chips in the oven. I'm going to set it to the preheating function, and then I'm going to put the timer to about 40 minutes, because it doesn't take 20 minutes for chips to cook.
Door closed. 200 start. Preheat 200 degrees C. Convection.
It definitely doesn't take
Stop, pause, button.
I don't know why
Minus
it paused my recording. It paused it, so I had to resume the recording. I don't know why it did that. But I looked on the internet for cheeseburger pies, and Coles definitely sells them. The only thing is Coles didn't have any cheeseburger pies yesterday, so I got the beef and cheese pies, and I found out with the instructions you're meant to have the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, so I had the oven set up too high, which buggered the pastry. So I'm going to heat the pies at 180 degrees when I do pie today. I'll heat it at 180 degrees for 45 minutes. I found out that 200 degrees is too hot for pastry. It fully burns pastry because pastry burns very, very easily. Chico rolls burn easily too. They burn very, very easily. They just cook too quickly. So, yeah. Yeah.
iPhone microphone. -8. Pause. Stop. Pause.
Still
-25.1.
recording. That's good. That's good. So, I don't know how I didn't mix my coffee. I don't know why I didn't do it. I don't know why I did not remember to mix my coffee. I don't really have to buy pies when I go out because I always get them frozen and I cook them up at home. I pretty much don't buy food when I go out because I know I'm going to cook everything up at home, and I hardly ever have to worry about food. Crap, I've got to pause this recording and pay someone their money from yesterday. I'll just do that real quick. I'll be back in a minute. I may have to do a new recording.
Speech on. Stop. Button.
If I have to do a new one, I'll just do a new recording, basically.
Stop. Button.
Let's
Pause.
see how
Button.
this
Record.
goes.
Stop. Pause. -20.
Okay, that's out of the road.
Speech on. Stop.
I
Stop. Pause. -7.
sorted that money issue out, and I'm okay with people being polite, saying, hey, it's only a cup of coffee or a pack of pies. I'm like, well, if you divide $6.90 into 4 pies, that's like one pie. If you buy one when you go out, it's like $5, $6, and it's like, that's expensive just for one pie. But if you get a packet of pies and they're $6.90, that is about $1.50 per pie. So it's actually cheaper to get a pack of pies than it is to go out and buy one. Because you're spending the same amount of money when you go out to get one pie and coffee and all that. You're spending nearly $20. If you get coffee for $10 and then you take it home, the jar is full of coffee. It's like $10. The jar of coffee may be expensive, but your 1 teaspoon of coffee with milk and sugar, it only adds up to about $1 per cup of coffee. It's probably less than that, because think of you spend $3 for a kilogram of sugar, $10 for a cup of coffee, that's 13. If that gives you probably, how many teaspoons of coffee are in a typical Moccona jar, for example? I'm fussy. So if there is, let's say there's 70, we'll just say for argument's sake there's 70 teaspoons of coffee in a jar. Maybe there's less, maybe there is 40, we'll say 40 teaspoons. 40 teaspoons of coffee, and then your sugar, there's going to be nearly 200 teaspoons of 1 kilogram of sugar. You're going to get around 300 teaspoons of sugar. So if you add 2 teaspoons of sugar, and I use brown sugar, I love brown sugar. I add a little bit more brown sugar to coffee because I bloody love brown sugar. It's probably not the best thing in the world to do it, but I love it. If I make 1 cup of coffee and add my lactose-free milk to it, you're only getting probably a 30-cent cup of coffee. So you think when you buy stuff, oh, it's expensive, it's dear, it's this, it's that. But if you're buying stuff to take it home and make it yourself, and then you never, ever, ever go out. I literally mean you only go to the supermarket to get groceries and you never go out to eat. You're saving nearly $300 every single week just on eating out alone. Weekly. It's expensive going out. If I go out, I can only afford to spend $6 just for 1 cup of coffee. $6, if you're at my home, $6 will give you about 10, how many cups? Let's say it's $5.80 for 1 cuppa. At home, I can make 4 cups of coffee for $5.80. Because you're dividing $10, you're not even dividing $10 by 4, because if I make 4 cups of coffee, there's still a full jar of coffee left, like it takes a while to use up coffee. If you divide the amount into how many servings there are, that's a lot of coffee, which means you're making 4 cups of coffee. That only adds up to like $3. So if I wanted to make $5.80 worth of cups of coffee, I would have to make about 8 cups of coffee. I mean, that's a lot of coffee. So even if you're at the supermarket and you go, oh, $10, that is too much for 1 jar of coffee. You spend that much money just getting 1 cup of coffee and a sandwich when you go out. Probably a bit more, maybe $12. Like, it's too expensive just to eat out. It's too dear. And then support workers get worried because they're like, we could go out to lunch, but I've had other people abuse me over it. It's like, well, all I need to say is, look, thanks for taking me out to lunch. I brought a lunchbox with me. I'll just get a coffee and something cheap because I've already got a lunchbox. I mean, Jesus, it's not that hard to figure out. You just say, hey, I've got a packed lunch with me. I'm still happy to go out somewhere for lunch. I just won't be buying a full lunch. I'll just be getting a drink and, I don't know, a bowl of chips or, I don't know, a couple of biscuits or, I don't know, just something small. Because then you're spending around between $10 and maybe $15 as opposed to bloody $30 for just one lunch. So yeah, next Tuesday, I'm making up my lunchbox and I'm just going to put it in my bag, and when my worker says, do you want to go out to lunch? I'll be like, yeah, take me out to a lunch place. Don't assume because I've got lunch that you're not taking me out to lunch. Take me to a lunch place. That way I can get a little bit of food and it won't be a full lunch, but I've already got food with me. So don't assume that means I don't want to sit at a restaurant table. I'll just be buying less food. When I'm at the restaurant, I just won't be getting very much actual food. I just want to sit there, get a drink, have a few, those Chinese prawn chips, a little bit of sushi maybe, something. But don't worry about me buying less food. If I want more food, I can just not take a lunchbox with me. If I take a lunchbox with me, take me to the restaurant anyway, and I'll just be like, some days I'll get a lot of food, other days I just get a small amount of food. Like some days I'll say, hey, I didn't take my lunchbox with me today, I'm not cooking anything, I need to de-stress, I'm not interested in making sandwiches, so hey, I'm buying a lot of food today. It's just how life is, it's just how life happens. It's life, and so, next week I'm just going to put a lunchbox in my bag and just say, yeah, let's go out to lunch, and then I'll get my lunchbox out and I'll just get a small amount of food, and then she'll be like, oh, have you got enough food? Like, yeah, of course I've got enough food, I just want to have a couple of bites of restaurant food and eat the rest of it out of my lunchbox. So I've got plenty of bloody food, heaps of food. I'm just not willing to spend $30 fucking each time I go out for a feed. I just won't do it. And then I'm questioning this cleaning company. They're good at cleaning, but if they're only staying for an hour and a half, why are they charging for 3 hours? I think that's a rip-off. I think they should charge by the hour, but they don't charge by the hour. They charge for 3 hours of cleaning, so they have an hourly rate, but they don't charge cleaning per hour. They charge for exactly 3 hours, whether they stay there for that long or not. Like, I just think it's a complete rip-off. I don't know. I think most cleaning companies are rip-offs and just looking for money. They do a professional cleaning job, but when they charge you for 3 hours, when they've only been in the home for an hour and a half, that's a bit... yeah. I find that a complete, utter rip-off that doesn't make sense. Like, why aren't they just charging per hour? So, if they say they do 3 hours of cleaning, but they were only there for 1 hour, why aren't they just charging? Why can't they just charge $100 instead of $180? Why aren't they just charging $100? You know, like, what's wrong with these people? Eventually I'll have to get rid of them because it's great. They keep my home nice and clean, but at what fucking cost? And then you've got people working for the NDIS who say, I can do cleaning before you go out, and I'm like, well, you're right. People can clean before we go out, but then I have less time going out. So we waste 1 hour for cleaning, the rest of the time is going out, but maybe I want all that time just for the outing. Oh, I don't know. And then my concern with cleaners doing cleaning is the NDIS only charges for 2 hours, not 1 hour. So if they do an hour of cleaning, the NDIS will charge them for 2 hours of work. So when I tell people, well, every time you clean, the NDIS has to take money out of that budget, it's like, it's okay for the support worker to get extra money, but then I'm losing funding that I need. I'm not very happy with this NDIS deal, so I reckon it would be better for these cleaners to come out once a month instead of once a fortnight, because it's just easier. It is honestly a lot easier if they just come out once a month. The NDIS will get charged for the cleaning rate, but then I won't have that funding for other stuff that I need funding for.
Door open.
I'm going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees, put this pie in there. God. These chips are definitely cooked. Definitely.
Door closed.
They are definitely cooked. So yeah, you know, I get where support workers are coming from, but the issue is the NDIS then has to pay those workers. Then I lose funding for what I need my money for. I need funding for stuff, not just cleaning. And, you know, when workers are like, oh, I'll get paid to clean, it's like, yes, they'll get paid to clean, but at a cost of my NDIS supports. So I do find it a little bit hard to believe sometimes. I kind of find it a little bit difficult to figure out.
100 start. Preheat 180 degrees.
I
Convection.
don't know. I want to support people to help me with the NDIS, but I don't want them taking away all my money and then I can't use it for other stuff that I need it for. So, yeah, I'm frankly not very happy with these fucking deals going on at the moment, because it's all good and well that people want to help me clean, but are they understanding that I need my funding for other supports that are more important sometimes? It's just a bit...
Pause. Door open.
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I can't be 100% sure.
Door closed. Continue. 10 minutes. 20, 40 minutes. 40. Fast start. 180 degrees C. Convection. 45.
Well, I just can't be 100% sure with some of these bloody things. I don't know. I just... yeah. Nice good little chickens. I love really nicely firmly cooked chippies. Oh yum. McCain beer battered steak cut chippies. Yum. And now I'm doing frozen pie on 180 degrees, not 200. That's okay, it's being sorted. I'm going to do a lot of chips sauce on my chippies. Yum. 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 Bloody love sauce on chips. And if anybody has a problem with that, they can speak to a psychiatrist, because telling me is not going to change anything. Nothing's going to change if you tell me how bad it is to have sauce on my chips and pies. Go ahead and talk whatever shit you want, because it's not likely to change anything by going on like that. If there's bad cholesterol in the fucking blood test, then I might change it. If it's okay, we'll bugger everyone, because I did put too much tomato sauce in my chips. Oh well. Oh well. I don't care. But if I have to change anything, fine. But right now, I'm pretty good. If you're not happy that some of us like a junk food treat sometimes, well, go for it. They are hot. They are the best. McCain chips are absolutely the best. Anything from McCain's is yum. You yes, it's an expensive brand, but whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Mmm. Yum. And I just tell support workers I don't use Uber Eats anymore, and I go out and buy coffee, but I take packed lunch with me. Sometimes I don't, most of the time I do, and that way I don't have to buy lunch every time. The other thing I never do now is go to the vending machine because they're too expensive. I never use the vending machine anymore. Because I don't need to. Secondly, I don't need to spend $5 for a little packet of chips when I can go to Coles or Woolies or somewhere and get a $3 massive packet of chips. Tell me my throat is getting sore. What's wrong with me today? Oh well. I'll see how I go. See how I feel tomorrow. And I'm meant to be going out next Tuesday too, so I hope that means I can still go out next week. If it's just allergies, I'm going out anyway because I do believe in if you're not feeling well you can stay home, but I don't believe in staying home with every single instance of feeling sick. I don't believe in that, and anyone who judges me for that can eat horse shit, because everyone has varying degrees of tolerance and all that. So just because one person thinks they're okay to go out, another person doesn't feel okay to go out, fine, but don't push your judgments and opinions on other people over just feeling sick, unless people know they've got the flu or they know they have something that can be passed on, then don't go out. But if you feel like shit and you still have to go out, well, I'm not going to be treated like shit by people who think I can put my life on hold for their happiness. That is not going to happen. Not for any person, not for any soul. I will not change my life to make anybody else happy, except in cases where illness is definitely contagious. And not every instance of feeling sick is contagious, so if you don't like it, then stick it. So, yeah, I don't change my life routines to make others happy ever. I just won't do it. If it means I guess without sounding like a terrible person, but if it means having to change friends because the friends who I hang out with are only concerned about their standard of living and I don't live up to their standard, then I'll ditch those friends and I'll change friends to people who don't want contagious illnesses, obviously, but who are more supportive and understanding that everybody has different capabilities and day to day you can feel good, bad, sick, otherwise, I'll just ditch my friend group and change friends to people who are more supportive. Not that I have to worry about that now, but if it comes to that, I only want friends who are understanding and supportive. I don't need friends who judge me for feeling unwell or judge me for going out when I am too tired or anything, like me going out's my business, and unless it's a contagious illness, if my life affects other people that negatively because they just wouldn't go out in that situation, well, goodbye. Because me choosing to go out when I've got a migraine headache has no bearing on somebody else who doesn't have the migraine. Like, there's a difference between purposefully making other people unhappy and just going out because I don't feel great but I have to go out, and I'm not telling everyone because it's just a bad headache. And yeah, I might look miserable and crappy, but if that's enough to make people offended, see you later. You obviously don't like me, I don't like you either, And then you've got the people who take offence because I think it's a bad headache, and then later I find out at the doctor's that it's a virus, and then I stay home because I'm like, holy crap, I didn't know I was sick for 2 days. Well, get fucked again, because I can't control every single instance of getting sick, meaning that I don't always know that I'm actually sick with something for 2 days. Go to hell, because I can't control everything. And I won't be told what I can and can't change. So, yeah. If people think they can question my motives and pry into my business and decide what I will and won't do on a daily basis, then they aren't my friend either. Because, hey, if your first thought is everyone has to be bad, then maybe you need to live in a psychiatric unit forever, because I believe there's a lot of good people and bad people, and I don't know who I'm coming across, so I'm cautious, but I'm not going to go, well, you've got a headache and next week, oh, I'm sick because you gave me something last week, I hate you. It's like, there's a risk that someone's passed something on to me, but most of the time they haven't. The only time I didn't forgive someone was when they deliberately, and it's not very common, but I got sick several years ago, and I won't say which company this person works for because that's identification stuff that I don't give. A support person said that they were feeling good and happy to take me out. The next week I got extremely sick. The week after that they showed up at my home and were like, oh, I had a similar illness 3 weeks ago, how did you get it? And I went, well, did you clean out your car really well? And she's like, oh, I got out of the car and vomited and all that stuff. And I went, so you didn't clean your car out very well, because we all breathe air, and when you're breathing out, air droplets come out of your nose and mouth, the little microscopic particles. She went, oh no, I'm hygienic. And I went, no, that's not what I'm talking about. If you're sick with something going around and you drive your car and you cover your mouth when you sneeze and then you put your hand on the fucking steering wheel without washing your hands with sanitizer or, I don't know, a hand wipe or something, and then you're like, yeah, I keep my car clean because I don't get food all over the car, and oh, if you see something on the steering wheel, you'll wash it off. It's like, well, you can't see viruses, can you? So, without turning this into a 3-hour diatribe, which will happen eventually, but not right now, this fucking worker tried to tell me that I didn't get sick from her, and it's like, well, I did, because I ended up in intensive care for like a day and a half, and they were like, how are you picking up these illnesses, because we have to check for food poisoning and this and that. And I'm like, well, I'm going to interrogate some people, because I usually only hang out with fully healthy people so that they're not giving me illness and I'm not giving them illness. Someone has said they are doing well when they're actually sick, and I genuinely thought I wasn't hanging out with sick people. And then the doctors are like, oh, well, it's going everywhere, maybe you're okay, you know, like you got it from somewhere, but you don't remember encountering sick people yet. And I'm like, well, if I did, no one has admitted to me that they're sick. And then a week later, someone admitted to me being sick a few days before picking me up and not cleaning out their car properly. So I got the shits with them and I reported them, and they never came back to my unit again. And I also reported the company for mishandling my case when I had to have a COVID test done, and they said they automatically don't send workers out because they can get COVID. And I went, okay, that's a risk, but why aren't they wearing protective equipment to then help me do the COVID test because of blindness? And the company management didn't take disability into account. They just tell their workers to leave disabled and blind people stranded. So when I got out of the hospital after having a huge, massive turn, I got angry and had a fight with a few mental health psychiatric staff and got the shits, and I lost it with a few people, and I said, you're welcome to get the cops out to me, but every time you get the cops, I'm going to report anyone who sends them out. I'm going to report them in for friggin' disability discrimination, assault, all that kind of shit. I'm going to get a lot of people in trouble. Because I don't need people treating me like a criminal, because their judgment is I can do my own COVID tests. I'm just looking for attention and wasting time. So I'm like, fine, you can treat me like a criminal. I'm going to report you for discrimination and assault. So yeah, I did my best to get as many people in trouble as possible that year. And ever since then I went, if I find out that people are getting sick and not telling me, and I end up in a bloody coma over that. And by the way, I didn't forgive this particular person because they tried to tell me, oh, you can't have been that bad, you just got sick. And I went, well, if that's what you want to believe, and you want to believe that I didn't need to go to the hospital, and you don't want to believe that I had to get hooked up to machines and oxygen and stuff, don't believe it. I don't care what you don't believe. I don't give a shit what you think or don't think or anything. You obviously aren't concerned about my safety and well-being, so I want you to never come back to my home again. Ever. Like, do not come back to my home again. So yeah, I did submitted a lot of complaints, and yeah, since then companies have got a lot more strict. I can't do the COVID testing because of blindness. okay, I can ring up the Be My Eyes people and they can help me. They're limited as to what they can do over the phone. So the reality is, if you're blind, you're limited to what you can and can't do. Full stop. There are ways around doing stuff. There are things that you can do to alleviate limitations and whatnot. But there are a lot of limitations with blindness. Full stop. And I can't do COVID testing without going to a medical clinic to get them to do testing, because it's too hard to deal with at home. So if people aren't going to accept that when I'm sick I just cancel outings and stay home for 7 days without a test, then they're the ones that miss out on helping me, because I won't have people come to my home and tell me how to live and judge me for what I can and can't do. Then don't come to my home again. You know? If the policy says I have to have a COVID test, then I guess that company is not friendly to disabilities and blindness. I'll just change companies to one that is more friendly to disabilities and blindness. You know? That's how I do stuff. And as soon as anybody comes to my home and fucks up my life by judging me, I just say, well, when you're gone, I'm not going to let you come back into my home again. I just won't let you in. And if you tell me I'm a criminal for being blind, you're out too. So, yeah. I'll put up with a lot of stuff, but I will not put up with people using my disability as an excuse to make me out to be someone I'm not, and to decide how I live in my home and judge me and all that kind of shit. I won't put up with that from anybody. I just don't put up with any shit from literally anyone anymore. I won't do it. You know, if I have standards and someone else has standards, judging one another isn't going to fix how people live. So, I'm going to live my life how I want to live, and if you don't like it, find a new friend, because I'm not the right friend for whoever judges how I live. I can only be a friend of people who appreciate and try to be a friend back. I mean, there's obviously circumstances where I can't be the best friend in the world to people and they can't be my best friend. I can be forgiving of a lot. You're upset, you're depressed, you want to die, you're in trouble for whatever reason, you're in the hospital. Okay, I forgive that. I can give people a break for a few months, I get it. But once you start fucking judging me as a person because I have a disability and sometimes I feel sick when I go out and other times I don't, well, fuck you and see you later. Because unless I know that I'm 100%, I need to stay home, I don't want to make you sick today. You know, if I think it's hay fever and then I go, can I cancel the shift? I'm getting worse, I need to go to the doctor's. Mate, reserve your fucking judgment of how I am until you know for sure how I am. Otherwise, you're gone. One fuck up and you're gone. And unfortunately, in this friggin' universe that we live in, there is a small chance that no matter how healthy we are, and I'm just saying this because I did biology at school, so I'm not saying automatically people have bad hygiene or people don't care. Because I did biology at school, and it still applies today, because you learn about it at the hospital and doctors, that you can be 100% healthy, and sometimes, it isn't often, sometimes you can pass something on to someone else because you're having a great stretch of really good health, and by the time you find out somebody else has gotten sick, and a few days later you get sick, you're like, fuck, did I pass something on to them or did they pass something on to me? What the hell? That is very, 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 very hard to control. If you're already sick and you think you'll pass something on, that's one thing. If you don't feel sick and then somebody else gets sick and then you get sick, it's hard to know if you got sick from the other person or not. It is so fucking hard. And then attitude does play a part. Like if you say, well, oh, I can't have made you sick and my car was clean, and yeah, I was sick a couple of weeks ago, but I can't have made anyone else sick. It's like, well, that's a heap of shit. But if you're like me and you're like, well, I hope I didn't pass anything on to anyone, but I don't think I did. If I did, I won't know about it because I don't just go out because, hey, I'm sick today, and if everyone else gets it, well, you know, I stay home, and then when I go out, I feel 99% certain that other people are not going to get sick, and maybe every several blue moons, maybe someone will get something from me. Because I don't go out of my way to make sure other people get sick from me, you know. Things happen and life fucks up sometimes. So, you know, I also think, and actually I do take great offence at people, I do get very, very unforgivable of people who think they have the right to pry into my business and decide whether I'm comfortable or not to go out. I take very, very great offence at people who, stop being my friend, I don't care. But if you're going to stop being my friend because I don't like you prying into my personal business, well, I don't like you either, and I hope we never speak to each other again. Because obviously if I'm spewing everywhere or coughing and sneezing everywhere and I prelude with, hey, I know I don't have gastro because I've got to check up, I've got allergies and I have stomach issues, please be forgiving. Okay, but what if I don't want to say that? I mean, I would technically, if you're worried about catching something off me and it's a severe symptom or number of severe symptoms, I'm like, yeah, I'll make other people feel better by letting them know that this is not a virus, right? But if I have other personal issues that I don't need to disclose because, mate, it's none of your fucking beeswax, and it's not going to affect you because I'm not making a mess and I'm not sneezing everywhere, so I'm like, hey, I just got to get one of my antihistamines, I'm having a hay fever attack, and if I don't fix it, I'll end up with a sinus infection, or a chest infection, so I've got to fix it. No, it's not the flu, it's okay. Fine. But what if there's something that I don't disclose and it's not making not a messy issue, it's just something I can't disclose? I don't have to fucking say anything. If I go to the doctors over it and they say, oh, you've got a strange virus, stay away from other people, then that's fine. I can just say, hey, yesterday I got some strange symptoms and thought, it's just irritable bowel, so I didn't say nothing. Went to the doctor and no, it's not, it's this, it's that, it's everything else. I'm like, fuck, I need to stay home all week. okay, I don't mind disclosing things, but unless it's something that is going to 100%, that I know that I'm going to make you sick from, if I don't disclose something until I see the doctor, that's my business and my choice. Like, I'm not going to disclose my personal toileting habits and my personal fucking hygiene washing habits in the fucking shower because of, and I don't mean any offence to my regular communication, subscriber who I communicate with on a regular basis. I don't mean any offence to them. But I do not have to disclose everything about my personal hygiene and washing habits and toilet habits. I won't and don't have to disclose fucking everything. Like, we all have our different approaches to what we disclose and don't disclose. So I'm not saying if you have something on your mind, don't say it. I'm not actually saying that. I'm saying if I choose not to disclose something, that is my decision, and I take offence at anyone who thinks I have to disclose stuff. If something dangerous happens and I go to the hospital and then they find out, guess what, I need to stay home for 7 days because everyone else is going to get it, I'm like, oh God, now I have to disclose my personal habits because, well, not my habits, but I have to, disclose something. So it's like, I hope no one else is getting what I've got, but I'm staying and I'm hiding in my unit. So if you accidentally encounter the following symptoms, don't have a go at me, don't go crook and growl at me when I've got a medical check and come home so I don't pass anything on. Don't go crook at me because it's going around everywhere and you're going to get it from someone, but you're definitely not going to get it off me because I'm not hanging around while I'm hanging around other people while I'm sick like that. So don't have a go at me. And then it goes back to what I said earlier, that if I don't know that I've got a contagious illness and then I get worse the next day and I go, oh fuck, I need to go to the doctor's, that's when I'll be like, oh my God, I hope nothing's passed from me to whoever else from the last 2 days because I need to see the doctor and I'm hoping it's just something happening to me and not something I can pass on. Sorry, I hope no one else gets sick because I don't mean it if anything passes on, because I don't know at the time that I've got something that'll pass on. If the doctor confirms that I've got something contagious, stay away from me. If they don't confirm it, then you can be relieved that I'm not going to make you sick, But yeah, I take offence at people over stuff that I can't physically control or fix, I firmly believe we can't fix mental health issues, but we can fix how we deal with them. Like we can't change that we have anxiety, depression, bipolar, all these different mental health disorders, but you can deliberately change how you deal with them. Like, if it's a mental health system to get aggressive and lash out, that's fine. But if you know it's going to happen eventually, say just a prelude, but I might get the shits if this happens or that happens, just letting you know in case you want to, not hang out with me if I get the shits. It's like, don't make your issues somebody else's problem, and don't make others suffer to make you happy. Don't do that. Because it's okay to have a bad day, but don't make other people have a bad day because you're fucking having a bad day. Just don't do it. I get so angry with people who think they can make other people have a bad day just because I'm suffering and I need to make everyone else miserable. Well, why don't you go and live on your own island then? Because nobody else needs your damn misery. And I don't mean that at my regular subscriber contact either. I don't mean that at... Oh, I guess... I mean that at kind of, everybody, really. But at the same time, I'm not just having a go at anyone in particular, And then one of my support workers, I can't disclose where they're from, like who they work for or anything. One of my support workers think I'm a great person. I'm like, you know why? Because I can be miserable without making you miserable. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Does that mean you're not happy just with generally not happy with how things are going and you feel like you're really down? It's like, I'm selectively happy with my support worker, but I'm very pissed off about a few things. And she's like, oh, I'm hoping we can have a decent time so you'll feel so much better when you're at home. It's like, yeah, I will. I'll have a good time. But I can be miserable without making other people miserable. Because I just tell people, well, I'm happy because I'm happy talking to you, but there's a lot of stuff I am not very happy about. So I'll sound optimistic and happy right now. Soon as we get into the stuff that's making me miserable, you're going to get miserable because I'm telling you miserable things that if you don't know about it, I won't be making you miserable around me because you just don't know what's making me miserable. But when I start telling you all the negative stuff, you won't want to keep listening to it. So yeah, I always tell people, well, if you want a prelude of a warning, you might feel like shit after I've told you some things, so if you can't listen, you might want to skip over what I'm saying right now. Because I don't go out of my way to make other people unhappy because I'm unhappy. I just don't do it. Like if people think I'm positive and optimistic and all this bullshit, that's their perception of me until they find out otherwise. I'm like, well, I did warn you. If you don't want to feel negative around me, do not ask me about what makes me miserable, because after I've finished talking, you will probably want to have a break from talking to me for about a month. And then, when you've had your break, it'll be like, just don't ask me about anything negative and you won't know that I'm a negative person. All you know is what I show you. If I show you a happy, positive person, but inside I'm going, oh, I have all this stuff that I know you won't listen to because it's nasty and miserable, then you just won't know anything of the sort unless I told you. So your perception is, oh, I'm always positive. Well, not if you ask me to tell you the honest truth. Then you'll go, oh, you didn't show me that part of your mental health. It's like, because I don't need to. I don't need to make you upset to make me happy. I don't need to do that, and I won't do it. I just think it's okay to have a miserable, bad, negative, depressing, angry day. But if you've got to make other people suffer, well, you need to find a lonely area to sit in so you don't affect other people. with your bad day. That goes for anyone. Other than that, go for it, you know. We have to vent and whinge sometimes, have a whinge and a vent. Good, go for it. But if it turns into I'm venting and whinging and then I have to lash out and hurt someone else because I just don't like having a bad day. And in saying that, there are some people who can like verbally abuse and maybe physically attack you, and you're like, I'm going to hurt those people. Well, if you're selectively going to only hurt people who go after you, then anyone would do that. But I'm talking about, like, if you're just going to hurt someone else because you just don't like they're happy and they don't understand how sad you are, so you've got to hurt them. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. No, that's not good. And then my support workers have some horror stories about how they've been treated, and I'm like, that is honestly disgusting. Like, you just don't treat people like shit like that just because, I don't know. Yeah, I can't understand why people think they're sad, they've got to make everyone else sad. And I think it's bullshit that if someone's happy, they have to make everyone else happy. Like, why do people have to go out of their way to make everyone else feel the way they feel? In a bad mood, I've got to make everyone else pissed off. Angry, I have to make everyone else angry. Hurt and painful, I've got to hurt as many people as I can today. I mean, look, really? Oh my God. Holy crap, that's just not just psychotic behaviour there, that's friggin' psychopathic. That's definitely psychopathic. Psychopathic being you got no remorse and no empathy for anyone else unless it's you, and if you hurt someone, it isn't you, so it's fine. I mean, that's just fucked. Psychosis is like you're losing touch with reality and you think things are happening to you right now, and all you're doing is sitting there crying and getting defensive because in your mind stuff is happening when you're just sitting there and nothing's happening. You know, that's more psychotic. You know, like me thinking it's not safe to go outside because I might get hurt or killed or something. I think that borders on psychotic, because if I go outside and then nothing happens, I'm like, well, okay, nothing happened. But yeah, it's just one of those things. In any case, I'm going to get my pie out of the fucking oven. How's this coffee going? It's going cold. I've got a bit of coffee left and it's going cold. I hope that I'm just being affected by allergies. I hope that's all it is. Because I really wanted to go out. I really want to go out on Sunday and on Tuesday, and I don't want viruses to stop all that shit from occurring. I really don't want a viral illness anytime soon. I'm just going to wait for this pie to get nice and cold. well, not cold, but like it's really, really boiling hot right now. Like it's very hot.
Speak pause button. Stop pause button. Stop pause -4. Speech.
I'm back. I just had to stop this recording and take a trip to the bathroom real quick because I was busting. So yeah, I just hope that I've just got allergies at the moment and not anything else coming on, which the doctor reckons nothing else is showing up or happening to need to do any other assessments at the moment, which I'm happy about. She reckons the fun will start when she tries medications, other medications. The fun will start again and she'll have to bloody fix things. And anyone suggesting go to the hospital, or if anybody suggests go to the hospital, there's literally there's literally zero things that the hospital can even do. Unless they plug you onto machines or they think they're trying to stop you from hurting yourself, there's nothing they can actually do up there. So, at the hospital. So, I'd only go there if something was actually worth monitoring. I just don't, well, to me, it's what it seems like to me. I don't know what other people think. But I think going to the hospital is about looking for drugs. Sometimes maybe you need medical care, so you go to the hospital for medical care. That's decent. But I'm not interested in going up there just to look for drugs unless I need some half-decent medical care for a couple of days, which is different from just looking for drugs kind of thing. You know, like all the people who go up to the hospital just because they have a sore stomach. Like, stomach pain is so common that just having a really sore, crook stomach's not going to do much. I think doctors freak out if you've had stomach pain for longer than a few days and then you eventually end up in the ER because it's getting worse and not getting better. So they freak out over that because it's not usual to be that sick. But the minute people feel any kind of pain and they go, well, I'm going up to the ER because, hey, usually stomach pain deteriorates. Well, most of the time, no, it doesn't. So it's like going up to the ER because, I have a fast heart rate and a sore chest. Well, okay. Most of the time, a sore chest is muscle strain or, some kind of viral infection with a fast heart rate and your chest hurts. If you took every instance of chest pain seriously, the cardiac area in the hospital would have a line up from there to all the way down the street. All the way out of the hospital, line up all the way down the street because chest issues are so common that the people checking out your heart and your lungs and that, they would have way too many people to get through. So if you have a sore chest, they've got to assess if it's even serious. They can't just say, well, okay, it's a sore chest, it might be a heart attack. I mean, they'll tell you that. They'll say, oh, well, it could be a heart problem, we have to check it. And I'm like, well, I'm not taking it that seriously because it's usually not a heart issue. So then they can do a few tests, and if you pass those tests, they're like, oh, there's probably nothing wrong with your heart, so go home and come back if you deteriorate, but we don't think you'll deteriorate. That's good enough. Like, I don't think it's feasible for everyone with chest pain to line up from the cardiac area of the hospital all the way out down the street just because their chest issues might be life-threatening. I think the system's good. They do heaps of testing. Make sure that you don't need to see a cardiologist. And then by the time the cardiologist has to see anyone, they've failed some tests. So they only see people who fail tests. So I don't get offended at everyone, but I will take offence at people who say, oh, if your heart rate goes up, do I call the ambulance? I'm like, no, because you're not calling for a medical emergency. You're calling to waste my time and the ambulance's time because you think it's a medical emergency, because you think anxiety can kill someone, which it doesn't. It doesn't kill you. You want the ambulance and the hospital to plug me up to machines because I might die, whereas in reality, I'm just having a panic attack and I'm not even close to dying. No, if I'm having an anxiety or panic attack, do not call the ambulance. I don't care how scared you are, do not call the ambulance ever. Don't ring the fucking ambulance. Don't ring them. When people do that, I threaten to sue them, and I get a solicitor and I sue people who do that shit. And I'm just not very forgiving of people wasting mine and their time. I just don't. I can't stand people using emergency services as a way to offload someone they don't like. When all you need to fucking do is let me sit still for 10 minutes and I'll be fucking fine. Don't waste my fucking time for 2 days over something that's not even a life-threatening condition. Psychology clinics have to freak out and worry about stuff because most of us are just going to say, oh, it's anxiety, I need you to just fuck off and leave me alone for a while. So then the psychologist says, that's fine, and then the cops wind up finding someone dead the next day. So now they have to be really strict and take everyone seriously because most people won't be dead. Most people won't have the cops come out, but they have to check everyone. Like over the phone, they ask questions, or if you're seeing them, they talk to you. Because if something really is going wrong, they don't want to wait till you've died and then call the cops and go, why didn't this person answer the phone yesterday? Why didn't they attend an appointment last week? They have to be strict on everyone because 99% of people are just going to be like, please fuck off, I'm pissed off today. And there'll be some people who will say that who might actually be sick and dying, and then they've got to get medical care straight away. So, yeah, mental health clinics now have to take every single mood change and all that seriously, like everyone's about to die. And then when they find out that most of us are just very, very, very pissed off, most of us are just ticked off. They're like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Because obviously in the past and possibly recently, psychologists can say, oh, well, yeah, you seem okay, and then next day, nope, they're either in intensive care or dead. So the psychologist has to make sure that you're okay with how you've fixed up your circumstances and you're not doing that and then suddenly dying or something else is suddenly going to go wrong. I'm like, well, not usually. It's possible, but not usual. So now I just send emails and make phone calls just so that people know I'm okay. So yeah, and then I can't identify who is who, but I'm very, very, very angry at. There's a couple of people who I'm actually super, like I'm very super angry actually, because they deliberately lied to somebody who I know. Can't say what or who, but they lied and claimed that they were taking someone out for a celebration. It was not a celebration, and that this person was with other people during the celebration, so if there's a group photo, you'll be in it. This person wasn't even part of the celebration, and they weren't even part of a group photo. So I'm a bit like, why did these two religious nutcases deliberately lie and pretend to be religious people when they're not? And then they lied to somebody else who I know of. Like, why did they lie? And they talk about religion and act all airy and grace, airy and gracie. But in reality, they're just terrible people. So now whenever anyone acts religious around me, I just go, yep, you're fucking lying, you fucking scumbag, Whenever people put the religiosity onto me, I just go, yep, you're a fucking scumbag, see you later. I have never, and I'm not having a go at my regular contact who I speak to, so don't feel bad, don't take offence. I mean, just a trigger warning that you might feel bad, but I'm not doing it at you intentionally. I'm just going to say it, and it is a trigger warning, so don't take it personally to feel bad. If you feel bad, I'm not intending for you to feel bad, but you might accidentally be made to feel bad anyway, and it is a trigger warning, so I have never met one single religious person who actually is really what they say they are. There might be the exception that some religious people are genuinely lovely people, but from what I've experienced, most of them are hypocrites. They put on the religion and airs and graces and all this other stupid shit, thinking they can make themselves look good, but they're just low-life characters, low-life people. If I meet 100 religious people, there will only be one of them that'll be genuinely nice, according to what they believe and follow, and actually very nice people. I don't know very many, or I don't know hardly any very nice religious people. So that's why when I'm at the doctor's, I just say I'm not confessing to any religion, because I don't like most people of religion. You can believe and think what you want and follow what you want. But as soon as you start acting nasty to me, I just think, yeah, you're not religious, you just pretend to be religious. So, and then I keep arguments between me and my friends, so I'm not about to argue with the doctor over religion today. He might say something, I'll just go, yeah, okay, you have your opinion, I have mine. I just want to talk about healthcare needs right now. We can, if we have to talk about religion later, I'll just tell you straight up that when I'm dead and gone, there's nothing you can do to change what I believe when I'm dead. So say something then, but don't say anything now. And the doctor's like, yeah, that's true. And then you got some arrogant, narcissistic doctors who are just like, oh, when you're dying, I'm just going to tell you straight up that you're going to go to sleep for a long time. It's like, yeah, I figured that. I'd probably say the same thing too, because like I can go from the approach, we can't prove anything when someone dies. We can't prove that they're going to move on to a different world or not. When someone's dead, they're dead. Maybe they do go to a different world, but they're not going to come back and tell us that. They're not going to come back and say, hey, I've just died yesterday and my body's asleep but I'm awake. Like, no one's going to come back and tell you what their experience is after they've died. So whether you believe in an existence after death or you believe after you die there is no existence, I can't judge either way, because the fact is, I don't know until I'm dead. And so far, chances are I won't know when I'm dead. When I'm dead, I'm dead. But if there is a chance that I know something when I'm dead, that I'll know that I'm in an afterlife of some sort, if there is that chance of an afterlife, I'm not going to come back and tell anyone that, which means everyone's going to be like, oh, she's dead, she doesn't know she's dead. Well, how do they know that if I can't come back and tell anyone? And then their answer is, because when you're dead, you can't tell anyone and you won't even know you've died. It's like, well, I haven't experienced it yet, so I don't know that. I don't know that you're lying to me or telling the truth, because unless I experience death, I can't be sure if what you're saying is honestly the truth. You know, if you tell me when I die I won't experience anything because I'll be dead, how the fuck would you know that when you haven't died and I haven't died? How would you know that? Like, don't lie to me. Just tell me you don't know what it will be like for me to die, because you don't. You don't have a fucking clue. And when I'm gone, you still won't know, because I won't be coming back to tell you. So you'll still be thinking your beliefs about death and dying means people don't exist. Believe that. But I can't come back and change your beliefs, can I? When I'm gone, I'm gone. So whatever happens after that will be between me and God, maybe. Because I won't be coming back to change your beliefs once I've died. And whatever I believe about death, if somebody else dies, they can't come and change what I believe about death, because I ain't going to find out until it happens. And sadly, very, very unfortunately, people only find out about their own death alone. They do not find out what it's like to die for other people to know. Like, whoever dies is the only one who actually knows if they're going to experience something or experience nothing after their death, because other people haven't felt that experience yet. They don't know. So, if there is any kind of afterlife after death, I would hope there is a good one, because, yeah, some people don't believe in an afterlife and other people believe in one, so the only way you're really going to find out is when your time comes, when you're old or whatever happens. But yeah, I especially, when it comes to religious people, I especially take great offence at people who pretend to be someone they are not. They're religious, but in reality they are far from religious, and they lie and steal and cheat. Then they say they don't do any of those things, and I'm like, I can't stand hypocrites, and I can't stand religious hypocrites. Religious hypocrites are the worst judgmental people on earth, and you won't find anyone more abusive than a religious friggin' hypocrite. And you've got the same on the other side, like people who don't believe in any kind of religion or anything. So full on, hardcore, no religion. You've got narcissists in that community too, who go, if you're religious and I'm not, I don't want nothing to do with you, which is okay. But if that means that you don't want to, if you're someone who's got to help people but then you won't help religious people, well, that's going to be difficult because religion is really common. So most people you encounter are going to be religious of some sort. So I just turn everything into a joke and go, oh, there's a lot of stuff I can burn and chuck in the bin, but I don't. But yeah, when people act all religious and all, I follow whichever faith I'm in, and I don't care what kind of faith it is either. I don't care what religious faith it is. I just don't care what religion it is. If people have a claim to have a religious faith, but in fact they don't, I'm like, nah. And then when people say, and this is what I've noticed from personal experience, when people say, oh, you're telling me that I don't believe in... I'll give you an example. If I say to someone, well, you clearly don't believe in the book you preach about because you don't even follow it, their first response is, oh, how would you know that? You don't know my heart. You don't know what I believe and what I don't believe. You only know what I tell you. You can't prove anything by judging me. Well, I can actually, because what comes out of your heart is how you behave and how you talk. And if you claim that in your heart you believe and follow whatever it is, you certainly don't show it. So I can tell you that you don't show that you follow what you believe. Because you can believe in whichever book or religion you want. If you don't show evidence of those beliefs, I don't care what you claim. I don't care about your claims. If there's zero evidence to back up your claims, you're a liar. You're a liar. Lying scumbag. If you claim to believe in something and then your behaviour is contradictory to what you believe, I'm going to judge you. And I'm going to tell you straight up that what's in your heart and what you believe is very clear for all of us to see, that you're a lying idiot. Obviously, if I don't know the person I'm talking to, I can't judge what they believe and what they don't. If I don't know them, I can't judge them. But if they're swearing and screaming at me and going, I've had a bad day and I'm a religious person, well, okay, they might have had a bad day. They might be struggling and they're just having a bad day swearing and screaming. But I don't know. There's a lot of, unanswered questions, because it's like, just because you have a religion doesn't mean you won't struggle, with your life. But there comes a time when you've got to say, look, is this religion working for me? And am I able to follow it properly? I don't care what religion it is. You can be any religion in the world. But if you're struggling is hard, like, it's hard to judge when it comes to struggling. Everyone has a bad day. But when there's outright hypocrisy, well, I find that very hard not to question, because when people are saying, oh, you don't know what is in my heart, well, I do. When you show me what's in your heart, I do know what's in your heart. You're showing me what's in your heart. Like, people really most people are good, but you've got a lot of people who really don't understand that their behaviour shows a lot more than what they think. Their behaviour shows them a bigger representation of who they are than what they really know. Their claims and what they think and believe and follow has a lot to do with how they behave. So if they're claiming to follow a faith and a book and that, whatever it is, but their behaviour contradicts it, they're straight up lying to you. And if they are doing what their religion says and just being decent people, you're like, oh, okay, I need to find out more about what not just their lifestyle choices, because everyone has different lifestyle choices, but you're like, which part of this religion made them choose these lifestyle choices? If this person's acting peaceful all the time, how does this religion affect their levels of peace in their lives and all that kind of stuff? But yeah, the two people who I know of who deliberately lied and ripped off somebody else are the epitome of scumbags. I really feel tempted to block their contact details because they're just disgusting people. The way they treat their children too is just, I don't know. The way they treat their kids is genuinely disgusting. So, I can't do anything about it because not only do I not live there, they have intentionally, and I'm being judgmental, okay? They've intentionally not given me their address because they know if I go to their place and I find out what's going on, I am going to go home and I'm going to report it straight away. So why aren't they giving me their address? Because they know they're fucked. I mean, home addresses are personal, so it's okay not to give it to me, but if you carry on like you're my best friend and then 6 months later you still haven't given me your address because, we've talked about hanging out a number of times and I still haven't gone to your address, something's wrong somewhere. I believe that these people have something to hide. I believe these people don't want to be reported, so they don't let anybody come around to their place because they know they're going to get reported. Well, this is a problem I have with criminals and religious nutcases. One of my brothers has become a nutcase recently, so I'm not happy with him for becoming a nutcase, but anyway, that's his decision. He is very hurtful to people, and so long as he can't hurt me, he can believe in fucking thin air turning into a bloody alien as far as I'm concerned. Just don't push your aliens into my life. Because when people start that shit, I want to send them off to the damn hospital straight away. I don't mean that to my regular contact who just says things because she believes in what she says. But as soon as one of my brothers takes things further than that, trying to make me think that, realistically, someone's hanging around in my room with me and they're not, and it's one thing to believe in aliens and this is what I think and feel. Once you start telling me, oh, there's aliens in my room, I'm like, do I send you to the hospital or not? What do I do about that? I just think as soon as people say how religious they are and then start deliberately hiding and covering up crimes and I'm struggling with my religious faith, but I won't tell you how many crimes I'm covering up. I'm like, you're not struggling with your religion, you're using religion as an excuse to be a terrible person. That's not struggling with religion. Like, there's a difference between struggling with religious faith and knowingly being a really shocking person while deceiving others into thinking that you're a good person. So yeah, don't get me wrong, there are probably a few really nice religious people, I just haven't found them yet. Oh, I love these bloody pies. I just think if people are that bored with their lives that they have to do horrible things and then deceive other people, look at me, I'm great, and then victimise those people because they're bored or angry, I'm like, yeah. There are some problems happening. No medication at all today, and I'm still eating like as if the whole world is at my feet. Good. Good. Chuck out some rubbish. Only like 2 burnt chippies. I ate all the other stuff. So, the way I handle people now is based on situations. Sometimes there does need to be second chances, but generally when people do stupid things, I don't know, claim to be religious but they're not, waste time doing other shit before they come and pick me up, all that other stupid crap, instead of managing their fucking time properly, so then they eat into 15 minutes or 15, 20 minutes of my time. I'm like, yeah, that's laziness on their part, and I won't put up with anyone who wants to be freaking stupid. So, in any case, I guess I'm done with this recording. I'm going to do another fully dedicated gaming recording soon. So, yeah, I hope everybody enjoys this recording and any other ones that I do. So yeah, I will speak to you all again very soon.
Speech on. Pause. Button. Record. Stop. Button. Tab S.